must be enough. Met raad en saam, met lyding en hoop, verdriet en saam staan jy staan. Jy is altyd daar. Dit wat ons doen, ons liefdes, ons vreugdes, ons plekke, ons thuistes, tot daar waar ons reis, jy is daar. Afrikaans is ons wese. Dis die taal waarin ons groeit, die taal is in ons bloed, is Afrikaans, vir ons mense. En ek stuur vir jou 'n sy, met 'n boodskap daarby, en waar jy is, sal jy dit kry, in Afrikaans vir ons mense. Al verander straatname, al word helde laat val, ons is steeds deur ons adem, ons kultuur, ons verhaal, dit sal altyd bestaan. Afrikaans is ons wese. Dis die taal waarin ons groeit, die taal is in ons bloed, is Afrikaans, vir ons mense. En ek stuur vir jou 'n sy, met 'n boodskap daarby, en waar jy is, sal jy dit kry, in Afrikaans vir ons mense. Ons is daarmee gebore, die taal waarvoor ons staan, dit vloei deur ons are, ons kinders praat het saam, dit sal altyd bestaan. Afrikaans is ons wese. Dis die taal waarin ons groeit, die taal is in ons bloed, is Afrikaans, vir ons mense. En ek stuur vir jou 'n sy, met 'n boodskap daarby, en waar jy is. Dis die taal waarin ons groeit, die taal is in ons bloed, is Afrikaans, vir ons mense. En ek stuur vir jou 'n sy, met 'n boodskap daarby, en waar jy is, sal jy dit kry, en Afrikaans vir ons mense. Afrikaans vir ons mense. Afrikaans vir my mense. Afrikaans vir ons mense.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming, it's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
It's like a burden has been lifted. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. Folks, welcome back to the program. Doesn't sound right. Okay, got a bit of a loop there. Let's go ahead and turn that off for a second and try to hear this again. This microphone is really irritating me. I just used it on another stream. There we go. Now that's better. All right, turn it down just a little bit. Welcome back, folks. Same old places you laughed about, where your dreams are all the same since you hung around. Yeah. Anyway, welcome back, Cotter. Anyway, folks, it is Thursday, November 7th, 2024, and a burden has been lifted from the world, from the United States, from Pennsylvania, and I feel unburdened by what has been. Speaking of which, I felt it was important tonight to share this breaking news. Apparently, Kamala Harris has come out and she has shared with us something that many have suspected all along. she has shared with us her pronouns. Her pronouns are has been. Actually, that's inaccurate. It's never will be. Never will be is actually her correct pronouns. Oh, dear God. Anyway, so there you have it. That's her. That's the situation there. Lisa, hello to everybody in the chat. Meerkat says he asked about potential unrest in Mozambique at Southern Board 2 weeks ago, and I dismissed the situation as a protest in Maputo only. No potential danger. Look at where we are now. When I said that, Meerkat, that was a statement of fact and an accurate analysis. And I said that was occurring only in Maputo and in Nampula. There were other reports. I have subsequently updated that news on multiple occasions. In fact, I was asked about it by a lady yesterday who has vacation planned in Mozambique at the end of the month and asked whether they should cancel it or not. And I said, well, there's no reason to cancel it yet unless you have a non-refundable deposit you must get back. Wait and see. Things can calm down by then. So do not misstate the facts, Meerkat. Do not mistake the facts. Things change. The poor response, the inappropriate action by the government in Maputo has exacerbated the situation. And so now people are up in arms, and it could get worse. It's a flashpoint at this point. Janet Liddy's here. Vilma Rasmus is here. Pablo Charlie, welcome to you. Erica. Chantel Boyson, John Huchin in from Arizona. Arizona's still not decided this hour, John. Get your act together out there, man. This is very annoying. Patrick is here. Con Engman in from the Netherlands. Erica Gerhard Steenkamp says, we made it too big to rig. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Christo Els, Shawnee. Monray Siebritz in from Cape Town. LS, welcome back. Christo Els, yep, I'm going there at the end of the month. Mozambique, okay, Christo. Trump's Russia-Ukrainian peace plan is a good one. Haven't seen it, so I don't know what it says. Chris Holmes in from Down Under. Crikey, how's it going down there in Australia? What's the reaction from everybody outside of Sky News? We know Sky News loves America in Australia, but no one else seems to. They hate us there. Anyway, so even though they exist because of us, the generosity of America. Anyway, yeah, Crystal, keep your eyes peeled, and let's keep an update on what's going there, what happens in Mozambique. So we'll try to keep you informed as best we can. Cool beans. Hang on a second here. All right. So is Michael Holmes in some sort of depression? Haven't seen. There he is. Oh, no, it's not him. It's Mark. No, Michael Holmes is just here, Pablo. He came on after we won, and he tried to say some other stuff. So, yeah, he's welcome to come back. So Mark Sayers is here. Robert Z.A. Slippery Pickle, RFK for head of the FDA. Yeah, or Health and Human Services, but yeah, probably FDA is fine. What's happening with the Saxon separatists arrested in Germany? Yeah, not a lot of information on that. I do know that the government has collapsed, but they're waiting until January to have vote no confidence. Normally you have vote no confidence right away, or you have an election. So I don't understand how you're having a vote of no confidence later. You can't possibly have a government that functions so let me just address the German thing. So in a news conference yesterday, Schultz said that Finance Minister Christian Lindner was making work impossible for the governing three-party coalition by refusing compromise on restarting the country's economy and on how to plug a multi-billion euro hole in the budget. The Finance Minister shows no willingness to implement the offer for the good of our country. I do not want to subject our country to such behavior. So he fired him, and that caused the coalition to collapse. Between the Social Democrats, the Free Democrats, the FDP, and the Green Party. So there you go. So, but they've pushed it off until January. He's deeply unpopular with voters. Now, what's going on with this Saxon thing? I think that's just a fascist government that's trying to take advantage of confusion because the government has collapsed. Anyway, so what is this? The end of the traffic light coalition's liberation for our country, the end of the self-proclaimed progressive coalition took Germany to the brink of economic ruin was more than overdue, said Alice Wiedel from the Alternative for Germany. Yes, the AFD, they should form a government. And we may have to see an AFD government, but they're probably going to go after the AFD. Can you do what we did with the electoral map, then the cabinet positions? I don't have the map that does that, so I'm not really sure what you want from me, Pablo Charlie. Yes, the Department of Government Efficiency. There's no such body, so he's playing around with that, having fun with it. Okay, let's get to it here, folks. Where's the news at? All right, Mozambique, tear gas, smoke. Things are going sideways in Mozambique. And that's what I'm leading with this story today. As police crack down on demonstrations. I got to stop right here. I got to stop, folks. I got to say, it's morning in America. The air smells differently. Liberty. You can taste it in the air. You can hear democracy on the wind. You can hear America on the wind. We are back with a vengeance. Thank goodness this national nightmare is just, and it's not the past 4 years. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been the past 12 years, including the Trump presidency. And not because of Trump, but because of the press and the demonic leftists who undermined the administration and committed treason on a daily basis against our nation. That, too, is part of our long national nightmare. We have a national nightmare since, arguably it could go back to when Clinton took over, but certainly since Obama took office, it's been a 12-year nightmare. It has been hard and sad. Smoke from burning barracks, barricades hung over parts of Maputo today as police and protesters squared up in what opposition groups said was a day of massive popular demonstrations. Some parts of Maputo, police used tear gas, stun grenades, and rubber bullets to disperse groups of people before marches could get underway. In other parts, would-be march leaders negotiated with police about possible routes. But by mid-morning, there was no sign of the massive unified march the government seemed to have feared, nor the deadly crackdown from police that Army and human rights organizations had feared. Thanks to internet restrictions, though, the exact picture across the city does remain fuzzy. A 50-year-old opposition candidate, Venancio Mondlane, told AFP that there was a revolutionary atmosphere that shows that we are on the verge of a unique historical and political transition in the country. But it's difficult to assess that independently because there's no social media video out there for us. Plus, it's a Portuguese-speaking country in which only 25% of the people speak any degree of Portuguese with any proficiency. Therefore, they're speaking local languages, and virtually nobody outside Mozambique has any clue what the hell they're saying. And since there's internet freeze, we really don't know what's going on. Cabello Mohocha says, America has been unburdened by what has been. You are correct. You are correct. Ronaldo says, you're going to finish? My stream started. Joe Biden spoke. He spoke, so it adjusted my time. Yeah, unfortunately, I have to do my streams earlier now. Not because of Ronaldo, because now I'm actually... This was the nice utility of this before. I adjusted because Ronaldo was at 7 p.m. I always did my streams early enough that it didn't interfere with that. But with daylight savings time and with Joe Biden yapping his jaws, I had to do my news after that. Plus, I recorded a video early with Byron Shepard on Morning Shot, Retardistan. I've got invited on there after former members of parliament. They let me on now, so I used to be on there all the time. DST, daylight savings time. Yes, Christo. So we spring forward like a springbok. We jump forward 1 hour, we lose an hour, and then in the spring we fall back like Joe Biden. So we just fell back over the weekend, and so now we're 7 hours difference from South Africa. We are, Europe is, what time is Europe now? Europe is 7, same as South Africa, so also 7 hours with Europe now. Yeah, so there you go. Establishing a demilitarized zone is a brilliant move. Yeah, where are you getting this from, Pablo? Is this being published in the news while I've been busy doing broadcast? What happened to my video with Morning Shot that was removed? Yep. What? You have a video removed from Morning Shot? Unaware of that. Don't know. I don't control Morning Shot. I just appeared as a guest on, I assume it was Retardistan this morning. I don't know. So I didn't know you did a video on Morning Shot. They usually put it on Retardistan. Anyway, so I did that video. But I heard some nice compliments, by the way, Ronaldo, about our conversation yesterday. A lot of people really enjoyed that conversation. It was pretty good. So good to see you here. You don't broadcast on Thursday anyway, or maybe you do now because you're home, but you weren't normally broadcasting on Thursday, so this shouldn't have interfered with your thing. No, it was brilliant, Ronaldo. It was 100% agreed. I think we had a Leka conversation yesterday. A bit of Bos Barat going on there, and so it was pretty cool. Ronaldo Hoz... the DA has a Karen problem. Oh, the DA's always had a Karen problem. They've always had Karens in that party. I still remember Natasha Mazzone being interviewed by, I think, Joe Emilio and saying how she adored Nancy Pelosi. And that's not a Karen, but that's definitely a problem. Nancy Pelosi, the corrupt Nancy Pelosi would be your idol? You need to check your sanity when you do that. They're sure the attempts to curtail FDs will be absolutely useless. Not sure where you're talking about. The videos are on Retardistan. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, RS. That's what I thought. So, Ronaldo, you have to go to Retardistan to find that video. It wasn't on Morning Shot, to my knowledge. They only put Morning Shot stuff on Morning Shot. Anything else, if you're a guest, it's on Retardistan. So, read up. I said I was joking. Yeah, I figured you were, Ronaldo. I said you're here chatting. I mean, otherwise you'd be broadcasting me on your stream. You stole that idea from me too. I used to troll your channel, not in a mean way. Just I was actually promoting your channel back when you needed help. I think you only had 38,000 subscribers back then. I think I had 300, so I was trying to help your channel grow. Maybe idle as an insider stock trading. I'm in an all-time high. I don't know about that. That was the day I woke up when Nancy. Oh, you mean when Natasha Mazzone said she adored her? Yeah, and that was. I've always, I've never been an opponent of the Democratic Alliance, and I often have encouraged people to vote for them because they're the only hope for South Africa. Not that they're conservative or centrist, they're left of center, but my goodness, they're not the radical lunatics that are running the country, so anything would be an improvement. And also, I thought that their hearts were in the right place. But after watching the way that they treated Ronaldo Khus over a cowardly decision to kick him out of their party, I now know that the Democratic Alliance isn't full of people with good intent. There are people with self-aggrandizement personalities in that party, people who are only interested in craving political power. That's pretty obvious. Yeah. Also, and I'll state this now because I'll probably never get to interview him again, so why not state it now? When I interviewed John Steenhuisen at the multi-party charter, I had asked a question. And he took offense to it, but the question wasn't even directed at him, and it wasn't a slight on him. Now, some people in the media took it as a slight on Steenhuisen, and I corrected them after they came. I said, "Way to go after John." I said, "I didn't go after John. What are you talking about?" Well, you said this. I said, "No, I was just saying that I have my one chance to ask a question, and I wanted to ask it to this guy, and I'm going to ask it to someone else." I guess I'm being silly. But afterwards, before I interviewed him, he looked at me with a stern face, and that was rude. That wasn't polite. That was wrong what you did. I said, look, I'm sorry. You shouldn't have taken it that way. It wasn't intended that way. Anyway, fragile personalities. Yep. Anyway, MAGA. Good evening to you, Cameron. The Democratic Party needs to move to populism. Yeah, well, populism works, at least to a degree. It works to a degree. DA supports BE, that's a crime against humanity. Agreed, 100%, Jan. That is a racist privilege is a crime against humanity. Yep. Chris says, if the Dems take insurrection from the deep state, surely this will not be an easy transition of power. No. Well, Chris, okay. I warned ahead of time before Trump won. First off, time to crow. Time to tip my cap to myself here. Who said 318 electoral votes? Now, we did play around back and forth. I said, this could happen, this could happen. I said, but my best estimate is 318. I did say that, did I not? And I said Trump would win the popular vote. Now, I didn't give an estimate how many numbers of voters. I just said he'd win the popular vote because I had no idea how many would show up. I didn't have the data for that. I'm not a polling service. So I was doing my analysis, and I got that right. So, yeah, I'm going to tip my cap to myself, just like I said with the ANC. I got that right, too. And none of this Johnny next morning stuff, Monday morning quarterback claiming things that I said that I didn't say. These are facts. They're there. The videos are up for people to see if they don't believe it. Yeah, so I also have been saying since before Trump won the election, and I will continue now through the transition and into the next administration, that Donald Trump faces a headwind. And that headwind is the bureaucracy and the Democrats. They will use lawfare. They will go to courts. They will go to the Ninth Circuit Court in California. Anytime Donald Trump signs an executive order, they will go there. For instance, as soon as he reopens, Joe Biden has just signed an executive order banning drilling in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge in Alaska. Donald Trump will sign an executive order striking down that executive order. As soon as he does that, an army of lawyers will descend upon the Ninth Circuit Court in San Francisco and try to have them file an injunction to stop drilling in Anwar. Well, there's going to be drilling there anyway. We don't need it right now, but it'll be open again. And that's what's going to happen. They're going to interfere with the government. And, of course, Donald Trump will do what Donald Trump did last time. He'll obey the court's orders until they appeal it and then win, and then he'll continue with his action. When Trump begins to deport criminal alien invaders who have no right whatsoever to be in my country at all, not one right at all, they violate our sovereignty. It's an insult to every American. When Trump begins rounding them up and deporting them, they will try to stop that. In 2018, they stopped them from deporting Haitians who had no business being here. And I'm going to talk about the Haitians a little bit later today if we get to that news story. Yeah, this is what they do, and they will do it. Now, that's one level of interference with this administration. The next will be the media. I already see it. I got news stories here today from the New York Times, the Washington Post, telling lies about Donald Trump and lying about what's going to come, talking about uncertainty. There's no uncertainty. Donald Trump is a man of peace. Donald Trump has ended one conflict after another. It was Obama, Bush, and Biden who started wars and who fuel wars. Those are the guys who did that, not Donald Trump. So there's no uncertainty. They lie about him. So that's the next thing. The media is going to pollute the water, and low information voters, dumbasses who don't know any better, can't think of themselves, will believe that garbage that they hear. And then the next thing that's going to happen is active treason within the federal government. People in bureaucracies, people like Alexander Vindman, the slimy retired lieutenant colonel, who violated his oath to the Constitution, thinking that his judgment superseded the president of the United States. You want to talk about arrogance? You want to talk about cheek? I know that my view on how to handle programs in Africa surpassed that of Barack Hussein Obama, and that if we had done what I suggested in the fashion that I proposed on every occasion, we would be much better conditioned as far as fighting terrorists and improving the living condition of people throughout Africa and places I was stationed. But I did not actively undermine the President of the United States and his foreign policy, because my oath was to the Constitution. And in order to fulfill my oath to the Constitution, I do not undermine the Commander-in-Chief when he gives a lawful order. 20,000 subscribers, let's go. Well, we're close, but we're not there. Last time I looked a while ago, we're at 19,940. Let's take a look and see if we gained, 940. Let's get to 20,000 subscribers. Get your friends to come on over. Yep, we didn't go anywhere since then, so we're still there. All right. So, Alexander Vindman is a person who should have been subjected to the Uniform Code of Military Justice for his failure to obey a lawful order. And he should have been prosecuted and dismissed from the military, not allowed to retire. Yep, see, art, precision, there you go. That's one of the triad of the three things. The triad I just talked about that will undermine Trump's presidency. Democratic lawfare, media, lies, and treason within the government. CNN's already bitching about Trump policies, not even in office yet. Nancy will start impeachment stuff again. Yes, but it won't go anywhere. Even if they win the House of Representatives, they can draft articles of impeachment, but it won't be voted on in the Senate. So it's over. Jonathan, I was an OG Trump supporter since 2015. You were, Jonathan, but weren't you just saying 2 or 3 days ago things against Trump, or did I misread what you were saying? Arizona Democrats desperately massaging the vote. Oh, gotcha. I thought you said massaging. Yeah. Retard Danny Stan. People do stupid stuff, huh? I don't know what idea what that is. What's the current stats for the House? Christo, hang tight. We're going to get to that in just a minute. Okay, I've got that information here. Let's get through some of the news, and I'm going to get to that. It's 206 for the Republicans. They need 218. Chris Bonhorse, 20,000 subscribers, 100 Rand super chat. Chris deserves every single subscriber. Well, thank you for that, Chris. I wonder, though. And this is not directed at Chris or Patrick, especially not people who just gave super chats, or all of you here. But if I wasn't supporting Trump, I'd still be concerned. What if I wasn't supporting Trump? How many people would leave my channel? Would you still respect my objective news reporting? I wonder. Anyway, so how many people that aren't here because I support Trump? Probably a lot. CNN says he must still get to court, 20-foot sentencing. That's not entirely true. The judge has given himself until November 12th to decide whether to proceed because Trump has immunity. And so the judge is going to make a decision by November 12th about whether to vacate the case or not. So we may hear by the 13th of November that the case has been vacated and that there is no sentencing on the 25th. The case is gone. Her concession speech wasn't even a concession speech. No, it was just an attack and a threat. There was a threat in there. Yep. It was a threat. Yep. What is going on with Kari Lake? Well, Kari Lake is proven to be quite divisive in the 2 years since she lost the race last time around. So, yeah. But Kari Lake is not winning. She's behind by 2 percentage points, but only about 70% of the votes are in for Arizona. So I don't know where those votes are. So she could still turn it around, but it doesn't look promising. Also in Nevada, we had the veteran who was ahead for most of the race, and suddenly he's behind by 13,000 votes. That's very suspicious. Very suspicious. Say goodbye to Vladimir. No, Putin's not going anywhere. All right, so Mozambique, the army threatened to come out to quell election protest. That's a barricade in Maputo. Mozambique authorities threatened to deploy the soldiers to quell post-election protests that have engulfed the country after opposition reject the results of the country's polls. Thousands have taken to the streets since the presidential election results were announced on the 24th of October. At least 20 people have died, hundreds more were injured, according to Amnesty International. Well, they threatened to bring the military out, and in fact, they did bring the military out. There you go. News 24 reports that the military, soldiers, and police patrolled Maputo ahead of the planned protests today. Yep. And they're saying at least 18 protesters killed, but Human Rights Watch says 20, so that must have been an update to that. South Africa has shut down its border with Mozambique, its main border crossing. Well, one of its busiest anyway. Protests led to deadly clashes in several cities following last month's elections. Due to the security incidents and the interest of public safety, the port has been temporarily closed until further notice, said the South African Border Agency. South African police also fired rubber bullets and stun grenades at Mozambicans trying to enter the country illegally at the Lumbombo border. Wow. Lumbombo is one of the four busiest land ports in southern Africa. It's about 110 kilometers from Maputo and 440 kilometers from Pretoria. And I have crossed on that border crossing before. It was actually pretty easy the day I went through. Young oppositions in Mozambique is giving Frelimo an ultimatum to step down or face more violent protests. Well, that's a threat. Wow. Young Mozambicans from opposition parties have given Frelimo until midday today to relinquish power or face more unrest after days of violence. We don't want Chapo. We don't recognize Frelimo anymore. We voted for Venancio Mondlane from Podemos. Wow. So, private citizens are threatening the government of Mozambique. That's not going to go well. Okay, Christo, you want to know how the races are going in the House. Let's take a look. The New York Times now has it 206 Republicans with 37 races not yet called for. Let's take a look at the board of this. Yeah, not every border is closed, Christo. I didn't say they all were. I just said that one's closed. All right, so here you go. So if the color is red, means that the Republican or the Democrat, if it's blue, if the darker the color, the candidate is going to win most likely. So, and the reason for that is the vote differential and the number of votes in. So, for instance, Biggs in Arizona is up by 66,000 votes with 73% of the vote in. So, now this one here, Colorado updated 20 minutes ago. 1 minute ago, Michigan updated, and that Republican's going to win. So, there's a race here in Washington with 4 candidates, but they're all Republicans. So, Republicans will win that race regardless who wins it. California. Here we go. So these lighter red are seats that the Republicans are likely to win. That takes us down to here. That is 218. That gives them House control. That's Pennsylvania's 8, where Brad Shanahan is ahead. Scott Perry, which is my district, he's ahead by 1.6. He gets it. That takes him 217. And then McKenzie in Pennsylvania. Those 3 races in Pennsylvania take them to 218 and pass the line. Also giving Pennsylvania 10 representatives in the House and 7 who are Republican and 7 Democrats. The previous House structure was 9 Republicans, 9 Democrats. Before that, it was 12 Republicans, 6 Democrats, and then the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania forced Pennsylvania to revert to a previous districting, and they did in the midst of an election race, which was illegitimate and immoral. And as a consequence of that, people had to scramble because they wasted time and resources getting votes in places that was no longer in their district. And what happened was that the Democrats won 9 seats instead of 6. So the 12-6, the entire differential when the Democrats took over in 2020 was because of losing 3 seats in Pennsylvania, which took them down from 12 to 6, a 6-vote seat difference, to 9-9 even. And those 6-seat loss cost the Republicans the House of Representatives in 2020. They regained it in 2022, but Pennsylvania was still at 9-9, I think, or 9-8 because we had lost a seat. So now the Republicans, if they win those 3 seats in Pennsylvania, will be at 10 Republicans, 7 Democrats, and that will be the difference. It takes us 218 and beyond. That takes us 220. There's 3 more seats here that Republican leaning. That could take it 323. But there are also a lot of Democrat seats here that are leaning as well. So the white ones are all at risk for the candidates. Arizona, California, Iowa, Maryland, Ohio, Maine, California, and Colorado. Those are all districts that are kind of close. And then the ones that are a little darker, those are in play, but the darker ones as we go down are pretty safe for Democrats. All right, so that's the situation in the House. 206 seats for Republicans at this hour and 192 for the Democrats. All right, does that help? Who will the Dominion voting machine select next time? Wonder what all the South African snowflakes here would say if I wore a Trump cap. Told my husband I'm going to get one. Well, Cyber Eggs, I got a bunch of Trump hacks for one of the viewers 4 years ago and mailed them through DHL. He reimbursed me. Mailed them through DHL to South Africa. And when they went to pick them up, they wanted 5 times, 7 times the cost of the goods for import duty. Just pure theft. So it sat in a warehouse for 5 weeks before they finally got it out. 40 monkeys have escaped from Biolab in North Carolina. Really? That's interesting. What kind of monkeys? I want to know what Zelensky is going to do when American money stops coming. That's a good question. Erica says, if I didn't support Trump, she'd think I was an idiot. So many have bought the mainstream Kool-Aid. They have. They just buy it because a lot of people aren't very bright out there. It's just the truth. Okay, so let's look at the presidential now, and I can give you the updated stats on all of these races because you're asking about it. So here's Trump has 295. We're still waiting for Nevada, which is at 92%, with Trump ahead by 51,000 votes. In Arizona, Trump is ahead by 136,000 votes, with 71% of the votes in. And he's flipped 4 states: Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin have all flipped for him. And let's take a look at the Senate races. Okay, so in the Senate races, the Democrats have gained 1 more seat that's been resolved, and that leaves 3 chances for the Republicans to pick up a seat. They're at 52 now. This is probably their best opportunity. That's Dave McCormick here in Pennsylvania. Dave McCormick, with over 95% of the votes in, leads by 31,000 votes. That's been consistent. He's been leading by 31,000 for a long time. It puts him a half a percentage point ahead of Bob Casey, the reprobate that's been in the Senate for decades. Then there's Nevada at 90%. Jackie Rosen has moved out in front of Sam Brown, the veteran, who had the lead the entire time, and suddenly he's trailing. None of these candidates gets 39,000 votes. Boy, people in Nevada are real asses. None of these candidates. So you just threw your vote away. And she is winning by 13,000 votes. That probably is insurmountable with 10% of the votes outstanding, unless it's all in conservative area. Maybe we zoom into the state and take a look. Okay, Las Vegas has 93% of its votes in. Sam Brown is trailing there by 71,000 votes. So he didn't get any lift from Donald Trump because Donald Trump had 450,000 votes there. So if he could have carried some weight from Trump, he would win the state. But it looks like he's going to lose it because of Clark County. So here's a chance for him to gain some votes. So it's not over yet. Here he has an 8,000 vote lead with 67% in. So all things being equal, that means he could probably pick up another 3,000 or 4,000 in that county. And this one here is 95. Not much to gain there. 95, 90%, 80%. That could hurt him. That's a big. So I think he's going to lose this race, unfortunately. These are really tiny counties here. But most of the vote is in these places. So, yeah, what he can get is pretty much done. Yeah, it's just one county out there that hasn't got it. So, yeah, I think he's screwed. So let's take a look at Arizona and Kari Lake. What's going on there? Kari Lake, because she's trailing by 2%, about 70,000 votes. That's a big differential, but 70% of the votes are in. So in Pima County, which is huge for Democrats, they're going to do better there. There's still 38% of the vote outstanding. In Cochise County, which is where I used to live, she's winning big there, and only 44% of the votes are in. That's a good sign for Kari Lake. She can count on Cochise County. She's getting double his votes. So let's say she gets more than double. Let's say she gets 30,000 votes there, and he gets 14. That means she'll get another 16,000 votes there, but she needs a lot more than that to win. Here she's winning. Half the votes are in. Another situation that could have a big impact for her. Here, those are mostly in. Those are partially in. 80% she's winning there. Here she's winning big. So these are places where the votes aren't all in yet. That's good news. 59% she's winning big here. So Kari Lake has a chance still, but it hinges on these rural counties. It really hinges on these. That's 82% of the vote is in. Look at that. She's won there overwhelmingly. 65,000 to 21,000. And so here she's winning with 69, but it's a small number of votes. Yeah, so she has to count on Mojave County, Cochise County. Those are the two. And then there's one other up here. Yeah, right here. And Yavapai, Mojave, and Cochise County really make the difference. And maybe some votes here she can make up in Navajo County. But she's really got a tough road to hoe. It's a tough one. So, President, all right, there you go. How voters shifted. This is good. This is graphic here. So in 2016, 6.1 more points for Republicans. Then 2020 went back 1.9 to Democrats. Now it's gone back 3.1 to Republicans. So, yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So there you have it. So that answers those questions, right? I think so. All right. Here are the most striking stats from 2024 election. You guys ready for this? Okay. Erica's going to do it. Do the Republicans have majority already? Where, RS? Where? They have it in the Senate. They already have the Senate. They have the House. They have the Senate. They have the presidency. We're waiting on the House outcome, and they're getting there. America's spoken. They're tired of the wokeness. Exactly, Cameron. Hey, Tony Nash. Good to see you there. Cybreak, some of the anti-Trump comments I've been reading from South African snowflakes. Yeah, they are pretty pathetic. Pretty sad people. They have no idea what they're talking about. The most striking, it just tells you how effective the media and how effective indoctrination is. So, okay, this is what they say. This article in the Washington Post, written by Aaron Blake. Don't know anything about him. Aaron Blake says that 46% of Latinos, Trump won. Wow. According to exit polls. Highest number for Republican candidate in 50 years. Eclipsing George Bush's 44% in 2004. Trump also won a majority of Latino men. 55% of the Latino men voted for Trump. 16 points was the margin of victory in Starr County, Texas. It's the most heavily Latino county on the U.S.-Mexican border. Trump lost that county by 60 points in 2016. That means a 76% swing. He also surged in many of the heavily Latino counties near the border. And then this is after he calls for deportation. People falsely assume that everybody in the country is an illegal Mexican. So, Latinos are going to hurt their feelings. First off, Latinos aren't just Mexicans. They're all over Latin America. Yep. 47% versus 46. Trump's favorability rating is, she got 47, he's got 46. 26 points was the margin by which Trump won nearly 1 in 10 voters who didn't like either candidate. So if you said you didn't like either candidate, he had a 26% advantage. They disliked him less than they disliked her. Wow. 6 percentage points is Trump's margin in Dearborn, Michigan, the first Arab majority city in the country. Harris is winning just 36% of the Arab vote, about half of what Joe Biden got. Joe Biden got 68% of the Arab vote in Dearborn in 2020, and she got 36%. Jill Biden is getting 18%, so it's not all Trump. So Trump, wow, that's crazy. So if he's 6 points ahead of her, then she got 36. It means he's 42, she's 36, and Jill Stein is at, which is funny. Jill Stein is Jewish, and Arabs are voting for her. That's funny. The big demographic gender gap was a lie. She's ahead 8 points in women, not 16. The gender gap is not that big. All right. Anyway, that's enough of that. 8.1 shift. The average shift towards Trump in urban core counties. He gained mostly rural counties to pass. This time in urban counties, he won. 8 points, it shifted in Trump's favor. Wow. 11 points was his average gain from 2020 in Florida, Illinois, New York, and New Jersey. Some of the states that saw the biggest shifts towards him. New Jersey and New York shifted heavily towards Trump. Wow. So here are some momentous quotes. All right, you guys ready for this? The Democrats are going to take care of that SOB for us. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell, January 6th. I don't think he's going to be in the picture. I don't think he can. He's fallen so far. Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley. We are very, very close to being able to ignore Trump most nights. I truly can't wait. Tucker Carlson, a private message, January 4th, 2021. Now they're licking his ass. Tucker Carlson's licking Donald Trump's ass. Or teabag him, take your choice. Well, shifting our attention back to South Africa, 4 members of the Patriotic Alliance have resigned from Parliament, including the youngest member of Parliament, this joke on the country of a 20-year-old who doesn't know her ass from a hole in the ground. Parliament spokesman Moloto Motopo told News 24 the MPs resigned in late October, some with effect November 1st. And we're just now finding out about it. Oh, what have you been busy doing, PA? What have you been busy doing, News 24? They are Katrina De Bruin from the Western Cape, the country's youngest MP, Cleo Vilskut, Stacey Lee Gabi Kohiane, and Gavin Franklin Jones. So they've been replaced. 4 MPs for... So, Gate McKenzie, why are your MPs resigning just a few months into the job? What's going on here? Do you think we will Kamala in 2020? No, Cameron, she's done. Politically, she's toast. The Democrats will have nothing to do with her, and we don't have a third party for her to go to. Chantel says, of course we'd still be here. I'm guessing you're watching this delayed, Chantel, and you're responding to my question, would you be here if I wasn't a Trump supporter? Let's see. Will Josh Shapiro run in 2029? Yes, he will. He will. He will run in 2029. Yep. If I see Helen Zillow wearing a MAGA hat, I'll go into deep depression. I'm surprised she's not cruising it there. What are you talking about? Non-citizen votes, my guess is Tony Nage. Let's hope not. Well, the Mark Lifman murder, folks, I need to do an update on this story. I'll make another video on this in a little bit. The alleged hitman, the missing mastermind, and the search for the gun. Mark Lifman knew the men who allegedly killed him, and in an ironic twist, they both appear to have worked at a security company that he established. The two hitmen, alleged hitmen, Johan Hendrik Jacobs and Johnny Bezuidenhout, made a brief appearance in George Magistrates Court following their arrest. Wow. Interesting. Security firm initiates an internal probe into the highly trained alleged hitman. Jeez. Professional Protection Alternatives Operations Manager Colin Adams denied Jacobs or Bezuidenhout had been employed by PBA, saying they were employed as independent contractors. Well, they still work for you for independent contractors. Will Trump prove that the Ukraine invasion was a communist coup supported by the Western globalists, or will he continue to be mainstream Putin narrative? I don't know if we really have time to hunt that down. There's more important things. The dollar to rand sucks today. Really? Trump won in 2020? That's a fact, says Jonathan DT. Gayton said his MPs and some councilors are resigning to focus on the next election. Really? Then why were they appointed in the first place? They're appointed to serve in Parliament to meet the needs of the people, and they're resigning after a few months? That's nonsense. Normal gays also voted Trump. Lesbians don't want men in their locker rooms. They don't want to be tarred as child predators. Oh, yeah. No, you're right, Light Rain. Yeah, the gay community's up in arms about this whole trans thing, and then also all the pedos that are actually heteros that are being blamed on the gay community, which has nothing to do with it. Spaza Shop crackdown. Free Market Foundation says that there's a crackdown on Spaza shops, and it's like apartheid. Really? Reintroducing rules that formerly stifled black enterprise during apartheid, according to Free Market Foundation's Ustash Davi. Asked for an interview, but he doesn't give interviews, so I won't be interviewing him. The government's attack on spaza shops, particularly those controlled by foreign nationals, risk exacerbating rather than resolving issues. The raft of new regulations being brought to bear is reminiscent of apartheid-era tactics that stifled economic growth and opportunity for millions, is what they say. Okay, well, that's kind of sucky. Trump's climate change denial, the Propaganda 24 goes all in on attacking Donald Trump and lying about him, and green rollbacks poised to fuel warming. I tell you what, if you quit burning coal in South Africa, you won't have to worry about global climate change because you're a major contributor. Your tiny little economy puts out far more carbon on a GDP per basis or a per capita basis than any other country. So, yeah, you're not one to talk, South Africa. Donald Trump's election victory puts climate change denier back in the White House, poised to dismantle his predecessor's green policies and jeopardize global efforts to curb human-caused warming. The Republican revived his drill baby drill slogan during his campaign, and his victory speech described U.S. oil and gas reserves as liquid gold. Yep, it is. And if the South Africans want to complain about it, Philip DeVette in particular, and the editorial board of that newspaper, well, then they should actually turn off power in South Africa, and then you can reduce the amount of carbon per capita, the highest in the world. So what does a Trump presidency mean for South Africa? Well, I've covered this extensively, but now suddenly, after ignoring the possibility of Donald Trump winning the election, the South African media are jumping on board. Philip DeVette writing ludicrous articles, and here in the IOL, the toilet paper record, Sian Roll, who usually does a pretty good job writing things, asked a fair question. So, and she asked a question. That's a good shot at Trump there. But she's turning to others. This is just reporting what others say, so it's not analysis. And I'll tell you what others are saying, that Trump is going to kick you out of AGOA, he's going to do this, going to do that. Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. Not likely to happen anytime soon. Expelled MK Party MPs head to court. They want Zuma's bank account frozen. Expelled members of the MK Party are approaching the Gauteng High Court with an urgent application to suspend the party's bank accounts, pending the filing of compensation claim they intend to pursue. This is all tied to the tithing that MK Party members are doing to Jacob Zuma, and he's cleaning up. The Trump trade and South Africa. Bad news for the rand. Interest rates for the moment, says Garth Tennyson. A possible trade war between the U.S. and China could hurt demand for South Africa's commodity exports. Wow. Stance on immigration and trade tariffs could be inflationary, resulting in higher than expected global interest rates and a stronger greenback. Well, the stance on immigration would take a lot of the excess spending out of the budget. Giving money to people who've contributed nothing to our country and coming here at retirement age is impractical. Trump's incoming trade tirade could cause trouble for South Africa. Experts speculate that he may look to end or change the nature of the AGOA agreement. No, he may look to change access to AGOA for South Africa, but that seems unlikely. South Africa's position in particular could be in danger. Well, it should be in danger because the ANC has insulted America, the ANC has undermined our national security, and the ANC has violated the premises of AGOA. So you're not eligible for it, so too bad. Here's the latest. We'll do a refresh on this page. See, 207 now. Republicans have been now declared the winner in another race. So they're one step closer to the 218. They're just 11 seats away now with 34 seats left. The Republicans need to only win less than one third of the seats remaining in order to have the House. So they're on their way. Those 3 seats in Pennsylvania, let's hope the Republicans win them. Harris has urged her supporters this morning to accept the results after Donald Trump's election win. Well, I would hope so. This will be the second time an American president's had to break in his terms as president and come back. U.S. election results. Donald Trump wins the presidency, defeating Kamala Harris, 295, 226. Actually, it's over 300 with the addition of Nevada. And then we add Arizona, it'll be even higher. There's the House, 207, Senate, 52. Pick up a 3 at the moment. Democrats suffer a drubbing. 10 key takeaways from Trump's election win. Now, is this the one that's pretty entertaining? Yeah, here you go. Yeah, this is just comical. So this is just The Guardian, the leftist newspaper of record. Okay, Chris, please do all you can to get AGOA canceled. Doink. Well, AGOA won't be canceled, but South Africa will be suspended from it. So racism, misogyny, defeat joy, and hope. Harris ran a platform of joy and new beginnings. Really? She called us racist. And Hillary Clinton said that the Trump gathering at Madison Square Garden was reminiscent of a Nazi rally from 1939. But she forgot to mention she was a keynote speaker at the Democratic convention at Madison Square Garden in 1992 in the exact same building. Yeah, so, wow. So this is what they say. The presidential nominee was soundly defeated by a convicted felon spouting racial hatred and sexism. That's not what happened. He's not a convicted felon. These are bogus charges on crimes that don't exist. Democracy at a crossroads. Trump's return comes with a promise of vengeance on his perceived enemies, including political opponents in the media. Well, really? Okay, so the media has been behaving well. They don't deserve to suffer a penalty for their conduct? Well, they do. Number one. Number two, vengeance on his enemies. Isn't that what's been done to those who oppose abortion, being arrested and imprisoned outside abortion clinics for not violating the law? Homes being raided on a Sunday when people come home from church to embarrass people, to threaten and intimidate the families. Isn't that what was done to people who commit misdemeanor offenses, sent to federal prison for lengthy jail terms for a misdemeanor offense that would normally result in a small fine and possibly community service? Isn't that what they did with attacks on Donald Trump, on Josh Hawley, on Rudy Giuliani? The list goes on and on. So democracy at crossroads, going for vengeance on perceived enemies, that's what's been happening for 4 years. You are a liar, Guardian. World set on fire. That's what they're saying. The prospects now appear bleak for Ukraine, for standing up to Russia, and similar fear extends to Gaza with Trump's victory seen as a win for Donald Trump and NATO allies. These people live in a bubble. The complete world, they're just liars. They think we can't remember the success of Donald Trump. He destroyed ISIS in 4 months. He ended the Iraq conflict. He ended the Afghanistan conflict. He's got North Korea to quit firing nuclear weapons or intercontinental ballistic missiles overseas Japan. Russia invaded none of its neighbors. Let's just be very clear. George Bush, Russia invaded and tried to conquer Georgia. George Bush, Barack Obama, Russia attacked the banking system digitally of Estonia, nearly causing the collapse of their currency under Barack Obama. Under Barack Obama, Russia invaded and occupied the Donbass region of Ukraine and occupied and annexed Crimea on Barack Hussein Obama's watch. On Donald Trump's watch, Russia invaded none of its neighbors. Oh, by the way, go back to Clinton. And the Russians were in Azerbaijan, they were in Armenia, they were in Nagorno-Karabakh, they were everywhere. So under Clinton, they did it. Under Bush, they did it. Under Obama, they did it. The only president since Russia became the Russian Federation at the end of the Cold War where Russia has not armed attacked its neighbors was during Donald Trump's. But The Guardian says the world will be on fire because of Trump. They are bold-faced liars. Climate deniers back in controls. Yeah, no, people deny the religion of climate change. They're not denying that climate change is real because it is real. Climate changes every day. It's beautiful today. Anyway, quackery to replace public health policy. Decades of accepted public health practice, including water fluoridation and mandatory childhood vaccines, could end if Trump delivers on his promise to give Kenny, a prominent vaccine denier and opponent of pesticides. So, our Guardian, are you pro use of pesticides? You like dangerous chemicals in our bloodstream? You like it in our water table, tainting our food supply? You think it's a good idea to use pesticides? I bet you probably like the use of polychlorinated biphenyls too. You think that's a nice substance that people should absorb from power transformers because, you're just idiots at The Guardian. Talk about quackery. Mass deportation, immigration crackdowns. Yeah, that's the only thing that's true here, except it won't be true. Donald Trump will not deport people en masse. It will take him a long time to reach the level that Barack Hussein Obama reached. 2.8 million people deported under Barack Hussein Obama. It'll take Trump a long time to reach that figure. And by the way, he didn't come anywhere near that figure in his first administration. And here they just pick a number out of the air, 15 million undocumented immigrants. Okay, they're not undocumented immigrants. They're criminal alien invaders who violated our sovereignty and have no business in our country. That's what they are. Get it straight. The specter of national abortion ban appears. Several states voted to enshrine abortion protections, but advocates for... No, you can't ban abortion. This is another lie. This is what the media, they just lie about stuff. Supreme Court extremism sealed for a generation. The Supreme Court is not extreme. It's been anything but extreme. It's been very balanced. It has made decisions in support of the Constitution, and it's done a few dumbass decisions which made the leftists happy but violate the Constitution. Billionaires bonanza as U.S. edges closer to oligarchy. Really? So they're attacking Elon Musk. What about Jeff Zuckerberg? What about Jamie Dimon? What about Robert Johnson? What about Oprah Winfrey? All these billionaires. The Pritzker family that support Democrats. Democrats are down and out. You got that right, too. Democrats are down and out. Absolutely down and out. Well, here's a look at the presidential race. Oh, it just got updated. I just updated here. So with votes still coming in now, Trump is approaching 3.5 million votes in Pennsylvania. Even though it's already been called, she has 3.3 million. So Trump is holding steady with a 2-point lead over her. Yep. And let's take a look at, so you can see there where Trump is winning, where Harris, my county, York, was up near the top, I think, yeah. So all of the state, with the exception of one little part down here just west of me, everything has gone in the direction of Trump. Everything is shifted towards Trump except for a handful of counties. So do we have the Senate here for Pennsylvania? Let's see, Pennsylvania. So we've got 95% of the votes in. Let's see, Philadelphia, 95. Who doesn't have votes in? All of these have 95% in. So I don't know where these votes are outstanding because almost all the votes are in everywhere. Yeah, but McCormick is ahead there by 30,000 votes. Okay, numbers still coming in. McCormick is almost at 50%. He's just shy of 50%. So, yep. So McCormick can still win this race, and that would give the Republicans another turn seat. Trump has outperformed the polling for the third consecutive elections. The pollsters got it wrong, and I said they got it wrong repeatedly ever since these polls came out over the weekend. He'll surpass pollsters' expectations by at least 3 percentage points. Yep. On October 25th, leading national pollsters told the Epoch Times the race was too close to call. On November 5th, Nate Silver wrote in his Silver Bulletin that Vice President Kamala Harris had a slightly better chance of winning. Well, I said Donald Trump was going to win this, and he would win the popular vote and have electoral landslide. Guess who was right? Guess who was wrong? I was right. 2 states still outstanding when it comes to president, Nevada and Arizona, yet to be called. I don't know why. Nevada is at 92% of the vote, and Trump has a lead that is insurmountable at this stage, given where the votes remain. In Arizona, It's now a 5-point lead, so he's ahead there, and that's not going anywhere. So that should be called soon too. But this is 6 electoral votes. That's 7. That's 11. That's 17. So this takes it 301 and 312. It's just short of 318 I predicted. Pennsylvania, it's a red day. Everything is going Pennsylvania's way. So Donald Trump here winning this race. The Senate race being won by now 32,000 votes. He's added an extra 1,000 vote margin, has Dave McCormick, since I spoke a moment ago. Eugene Pascal is losing to Dave Sunday here. And then Tim DeFore is winning for the auditor and state treasurer Stacey Garrity. So Republicans have won every single one of these races, statewide races in Pennsylvania, at least at the moment, unless something strange happens. Here, once again, is the map of where the country is going. The red is the place, indicates people have shifted in a county towards Trump. Blue is towards Biden, or towards Harris. Nothing in California. Apparently, no date out there. But in the mountain states, it looks like a number of counties shifted towards Kamala Harris. So, this is, it's apropos question. Cameron just asked this question. That's my next news article. New York Attorney General Letitia James holds press conference with Governor Hochul. We are prepared to fight back. In a contentious post-election press conference on Wednesday, Democrat New York Governor Kathy Hochul and her state Attorney General Letitia James continue to portray President-elect as an old, evil adversary. They declared Empire State Freedom Initiative in order to get ready for combat the policy and regulatory threats. Well, I'll tell you this. This is treason. These people are actively seeking to use the levers of state power to override the federal government because they don't like who's in charge. They should be arrested and indicted for their actions. Hours after Trump wins, Biden moves to limit oil drilling in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, which I've talked about several times today. The Biden administration moved yesterday to narrow the scope of an oil and gas lease sale in Alaska's Arctic National Wildlife Refuge that was mandated under President Trump. So they're trying to stop Trump-era policies, still all the way at the end. Well, Alexander Vindman, the slimy greaseball retired lieutenant colonel who shamed himself and the U.S. Army with his conduct, his twin brother, Yevgeny, is now a member of Congress. Yevgeny Vindman is a former Army lieutenant colonel who was fired by the Trump administration for joining his twin brother as a whistleblower in the first impeachment of President Trump. He wasn't fired for being a whistleblower. First off, Karwin Demirjan, it sounds like a Armenian. Karwin, that's a factual error. He wasn't fired for being a whistleblower. That's a criminal act. He wasn't fired for that. He was fired for his conduct. There's a difference. Anyway, he's won the race. For many Arab Americans, Trump made the case for their votes, but not Kamala. After supporting Biden in 2020, the majority Arab American city outside Washington, Detroit, that's Dearborn, delivered an unlikely win for Donald Trump. Promised to bring peace to the Middle East. Yep. Standing next to his 10-year-old son outside an elementary school on the north side of Dearborn, Mr. Alumumdari explained his change of heart, part of a remarkable turnaround in Dearborn, which is just outside Detroit. He said he was fed up with Biden's support of Israel and Ukraine. He said the death and destruction being underwritten by the United States drove his decision to back Trump. First time we vote for Joe Biden, but we see right now he didn't stop the genocide. Well, there's no genocide. Stop it. Trump's not going to stop a genocide either because it's not existing. Well, CNN, once again, lying. This is an analysis piece by Stephen Collinson. This guy writes all kinds of drivel. Trump thinks that presidents have near total power. There will be little to stop him in his second term. Folks, that can be said of Barack Hussein Obama, George Bush, especially of Joe Biden, Bill Clinton. Every president thinks they have unconstrained power. This is a dishonest analysis. This is garbage. He has a mandate, and he will enact it. And the Washington Post continues with their drivel. Trump's triumph threatens an already battered democracy, according to experts. Well, these experts are idiots. We've already seen a process of the last 10 years of Democratic decay, says Daniel Ziblatt, professor of government at Harvard, author of How Democracies Die. This election will just hasten that decline. See, this is why Ivy League schools are useless. This guy's just a propagandist, and he teaches at Harvard. No, he sounds like an idiot. Well, the Haitians of Springfield are running nervous. Well, unless you're a criminal alien invader, you shouldn't be nervous. Just relax. Nothing's going to happen to you. So, these people continue to capitalize adjectives. Trump has berated immigrants living throughout the predominantly white corner of Southwest Ohio through his campaign. During the president's debate, he regurgitated a debunked rumor that they were eating cats and dogs. Oh, boy. Francois, 39, settled in Springfield 3 years ago. The driveway to the polling place near his duplex had been lined with Harris wall signs. Or she, excuse me. She worked as a television journalist. So is she voting? She's been here 3 years and she's voting? I don't think she is. That doesn't make sense. Well, the WNBA star who cried wolf. Natasha Cloud. Phoenix Mercury guard Natasha Cloud appeared to be unsettled by America's decision to re-elect President Trump. Fox News called Pennsylvania and Wisconsin former president, 2 states he needed to get through the barrier. And we are truly so broken as a country for this to be our reality, Cloud wrote on Twitter. The privilege of celebrating, I don't know what M is supposed to be. It does say M, doesn't it? Let me read that and put my glasses on because it's just... Is it N or RN? Celebrating RN. I don't know what that means. There must be some code. Exactly what's wrong with us as people. I'm truly worried about my fundamental human rights. Racism, misogyny, hatred of women are so deeply rooted in everything that's America. Well, let me just tell you something there, shithead. You get the shithead of the year award thus far, Natasha Cloud. You're full of shit. Your fundamental human rights aren't being violated. They've never been violated. Stop being such a Cassandra. Stop being such a Karen. Racism is entrenched in society. It's mainly in this country directed against the majority population by the media, by the government. Yep, and by idiots like you. Misogyny, who's got hatred of women? Misandry is what's actually happening in this country. The hatred of men hating thing. The nonsense of the phrase toxic masculinity. How about toxic femininity? Hatred of women. Who hates women? Who hates women? You're such a sick and twisted individual. Your worldview is warped. And your opinion is little to no value. We don't care. Shut up. Go back to dribbling your tiny-ass ball that's too small to go through the hoop and gives women an unfair advantage in sports. Play with a real ball, the one men use. See how well you shoot then. And that's it. That's the news for today, folks. Thanks for joining me. Weymar says, if you followed X, you would have known Trump would win. The mainstream media, CNN, Fox. But you can. I'm not sure if you're just making a general statement, Weymar. I predicted Trump would win. I predicted when no one else predicted Trump would win. When they all were cautious about the polls, I predicted a Trump win, hands down. I also predicted an electoral landslide and came up with the figure 318. It's going to be 312. So I think you're just making a general statement, but I don't follow Twitter. It's a toxic environment. I go to it for breaking news, and I do post things on there, but I try to stay out of the conversations because it's full of hate wankers. Okay. They want to accept, majority of Americans voted for Trump. Well, they do not want to accept, okay, winning the popular vote. That's why I said we had to win the popular vote. Krista says, thank you, sir. Have a good day further. Thank you, Krista. There's female basketballs. Oh, yeah, Light Rain. The basketballs for women are smaller. They're physically smaller. They're like an inch or two smaller. So that's why they get something like, look, I love Caitlin Clark. She's an incredible player, but she makes three-pointers because the basket is bigger. The basket isn't physically bigger. But if the basket is this big and the men's ball is this big, but the women's ball is that big, then women have an easier chance to make a shot. Yeah, their ball's smaller. Yep. Awkward Leon, I don't know if I'll make a video about Dolly and Pofa joining MK. I might. I've got to make another one about the Mark Lifman situation. Those did very well for me. Plus, I need to update people on what the situation is. Roman Abramovich did not flee to London. Huh? What am I missing here? You guys are talking about Russia. Weymar says all the time. Is the White House boarded up? No, it's not boarded up, Robert. Greta Thunberg is reverse. What's my take on Attorney General? I just covered that. Even Jon Stewart said this when I hear from pollsters. Shut the F up. You were wrong every time. When Trump takes office doesn't mean she can be replaced. Who can be replaced? Is the press secretary Karine still employed? Yeah, she works for Biden. Unless he fires her, she's there. Yep. Never trust polls. Erica's back. Who gives a crap about Dolly and Pofu? Yeah, that's one reason why I might not do it, Alan, because I don't think I watch. People care about the Mark Lifman situation, so I'll do a video on that. I need a break. It's been go. And tomorrow morning I've got to record video about the Springboks team selection. Got to do that. Then I've got to do my news. Then I've got to do the Ireland game against the All Blacks. Yeah, it's going to be a long day. New York Attorney General can she be replaced? Yeah, but not by Trump. He has no control over that. She can be replaced at any time. It's an appointed, it's an elected position. Yeah, she'd have to resign. Excuse me. Oh, Dolly, who cares? I'm trying to read that. Anyway, who gives a crap about Dolly and Pofu? That's right. I agree 100%. All right, folks, I just want to take a moment and thank everybody because we're doing a little better on the channel of late. We're up to 19,940 subscribers. Oh, no, I correct myself. 19,939. We lost one. Not sure what that's all about. Let's take a look at some of the data here real quick. We had a big drop off from that. By the way, Monday was the biggest day ever on this new channel. 62,000 views in one day. Now, I don't get too excited. That was a lot of videos, but I used to get 100,000 plus every day. So, but still, we never had that big a day. Best we had before was 52,000. So we dumped it. We jumped ahead. But then the next day we're down to 12,000. On Tuesday, yesterday we're at 8,000. So Tuesday when I had the elections, I still had 12,000 views. That's pretty good. If Trump asked you to become American ambassador, I would do it in a heartbeat. Yes, I would do it. If Trump asked me to be the ambassador, I would do it. I would shave my beard. I'd put on my suit. I'd go to D.C. and sit in the hearings. Yep. Okay, so go protest with the EFF. It's a handful of poorly attended protests. In Portland, they have 40 drug-addicted Marxists, no energy. Antifa tried to start some nonsense in Seattle, but they were stopped by the police. With the EFF seen as imploding, do you think this will strengthen the MK with voters shifting? Well, people are saying, some commenters are saying that the EFF is imploding. I haven't said that. I might have said that. I'm not sure they're imploding. They're certainly losing a lot of leaders right now. We have to wait and see what's happening. But yeah, no, MK will get stronger. They're also trying to eat away at the ANC's base. You're welcome, Sue. Okay, so let me take a look at something else here real quick. So I must have gotten a lot of revenue from ads. Let me see. Yeah, okay, I got from this channel. I've got, wow, I made 41 bucks on that one video and 37 on the other, so that's 78. Wow, South African videos actually made me some money. $88 from those 3 videos on Mark Lifman. Wow. So yeah, that would explain. Okay, so because I had a couple good days, but a little slow now since this channel gets mostly money from super chats, not from that stuff. But yeah, let me take a look and see a little bit more. I want to see something here very quickly. Lifetime on the channel. How many views we're at now? So, channel's over 4 million. I didn't realize it went over 4 million. Cool beans. We're at 4,100,000 views on this channel lifetime, 432,000 hours watched, 19,900 subscribers. And we had our best day ever just the other day. We've had our best 3-4 days in the history of the channel this year. All of since June. Yep. Cool. Cool. All right. So, there you have it. Is Ronaldo still here? The head of the Clinton Foundation stepped out. Why? Probably to flee to a non-extradition country. Cameron says that's nice. In South Africa, you can use that amount just to make it the month end payday. 2,000 rand, 100 bucks. It's not 2,000 rand. It's about 1,700 rand. But yeah, 1,700 rand. It doesn't even pay 1/3 of my cable bill, my internet bill. You guys are talking about the history of Judaism. Facebook, Trump asks you, what's that? Frederick Gazer says, face meant if Trump asked you to become the American ambassador. Well, that's what I understood. For me to be in Hatfield. Yeah, I would do it in a heartbeat. I know the building. I've been in there hundreds of times. Keep it real. Well, I always keep it real. Always keep it real. 103 likes, a little bit of super chat revenue. This is a good stream. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. I'm going to take a break. I know we're just over an hour here, but Mikhail Friedman, you guys are talking about stuff I don't even know about what's going on here. Well, if it's over 20 to 1, that's good for me. Now that Trump has got control of the House, is he going to fire the likes of Nancy? Again, guys, he doesn't control the House of Representatives, okay? So this is something about our country you have to understand. We're not in a parliamentary system. We're not dependent on parliaments. We have a system that has three co-equal branches of government: the executive, the legislative, and the judicial. Now, each have checks and balances on each other. They don't always exercise them, but they have them. So, for instance, president can't sign a treaty and then it becomes law. The president, like Barack Obama, can sign the Green Deal, Paris Peace Deal, or Paris Green Energy, whatever, Paris Climate Accord, that's what it was. He can sign that, but that doesn't make it the law of the land. The Senate has to ratify it. That's their check on him. So he can't just sign any agreement. He can't like sign us up to be allies with some fascist government. The Senate has to sign it. The Senate signs a bill, sends to the White House, the president can veto it. That's his check over the Senate. Frederick says, I like you, Chris. You need to become president of South Africa. Well, that's impossible. I'm not a South African, and I'm not elected government there. If I did pursue that path, I would likely lose my American citizenship. Australia, 1984, social media ban to under 16-year-olds. Supports the digital ID to go into social media. This coincides with the misinformation bill, which was passed. Oh, Chris, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, Australia is gone. The UK is gone. Germany is gone. Although there's a pushback in Germany now. But thank you, Frederick. I'm glad you... how long have you been watching, Frederick? It's been a long time because I don't recognize the name. It must be recent. And if you just found me, how did you find me? How did you find me? Yep. But thank you, Frederick. I appreciate your comments. I do my best. But, you know, there are detractors who don't like me, disagree with me. Arrivederci, grazie per averci tenuto informati. Hey, Giuseppe, it's my pleasure. I'm happy to share the information with you. Arctic says, can I wear a MAGA hat to work now? Well, I'll tell you what, folks, I walk outside, I look across the street right there, Trump sign. This house, Trump sign. My yard, Trump sign. 2 houses down, Trump signs. Big Trump signs. Yeah, this is Trump country. And it was before the election. This isn't new. This is new. Yep, people are feeling empowered. I always like to say that word with women, we feel empowered. Well, we feel empowered to ignore the left now. A lot of people who were a little shy about wearing their Trump regalia have got it all over the place. But that's not many people around here. Most people are pretty confident wearing their Trump stuff. But yeah, I noticed a lot more people out about wearing Trump stuff now because they're not going to put up with the crap from the leftists. They're just not going to buy it. So yeah. Anyway, so there you have it. It is Thursday. It feels like a Friday though. It does feel like a Friday, but it is Thursday. So I want steamed crabs tonight, but I can't have them because they only have them on the weekends. Unless they happen to have them by today. I could check. In fact, I wonder. Let me look and see. Okay, well, that's not what I want. I want my mail folder. Where's my mail? There it is. Go to my inbox. Let me see if I can find anything from... It doesn't look like anything's been sent from... Usually they'll send a message out. No, Banner Sunday special. I got that. Nothing today, so... Oh, well. So much for that. You usually only have stuff later on, so... Anyway. Oh, boy. You know, I've been so busy I haven't even watched the National Hockey League. I usually watch the NHL. I don't even know what's going on there right now. So let's take a look at the NHL real quick because I'm curious. Well, I need to shave right here. It's getting caught on my shirt. Oof. Morning biscuit. That's the NHL report. Let me look at the standings and take a look at something here. I saw that Minnesota's looking pretty good, but Marc-Andre Fleury isn't getting many games. So in the Western Conference, Minnesota's 8 wins, 2 losses, 2 overtime losses, 18 points. Well, that's weird. YouTube just changed something. My screen just changed over here. All the people watching it just got filled in in blue. That's new. They're updating things as we go. Oh, and the page froze. Am I still live, I wonder? Good Lord. What is that happening? YouTube has been having problems like this for a while now. Let's see. I'll reload the page with a different tab. Okay. Give me the data. Give me the data. Give me the data. There it is. Okay. No, just tab crashed. It's fine now. Wow. Vegas, my team, the Vegas Golden Knights Pacific Division, 9 wins, 3 losses, 1 overtime loss. They were like 4-3, I think, last time I watched them. They've been playing a lot of games, so yep, that's what their current streak is. They won 2, they're 6-3 and 1 in the last 10. Okay, so yep. Let me see if they're playing tonight. Let me look at the schedule. Tonight is the 7th. And, boy, a lot of teams playing tonight, but I don't see Vegas on there. No, Minnesota plays tonight. Maybe I can watch that at 10:30. Yeah, 10:30 night. Utah's also playing, plays St. Louis tonight. Utah has a professional hockey team now, but they haven't got a name for it yet, so it's called the Utah Hockey Team. Tomorrow, Minnesota plays again. Vegas plays Seattle tomorrow at 10. That'll be a good game. All right, so I'll probably watch that game. But yeah, I've been so busy. Let me take a look at the American Hockey League, because I haven't been there in a while. That's where the Hershey Bears play at. And let me take a look at that. So, American Hockey League standings. League standings. Here we go. I haven't watched Hershey to see how they're doing. Hershey Bears are in first place. 7 wins, 3 losses, an overtime loss. They have 15 points on the log. Laval, up in Canada, is 8-1. They have the best record I can see so far. And so is Milwaukee, 8-1. And Calgary, 10-2. So, the Bears don't even have the top record. But let's see. They play not tonight. They usually don't play on Thursdays. Friday. They're not playing Friday either. What's going on? Why wouldn't Hershey be playing here? Interesting. Yeah, I just know that their ticket's too expensive if I don't go anymore. Well, they got a 40% sale. It ends today. Oh, 40% off tickets. I hadn't tried that yet. So, they play on the 9th. So, at Springfield. Oh, they're versus Springfield. These are at home. That's a boring team. Yep. Anyway, so Hershey. There you have it. So, there's the hockey. Right. What else? I have physio on Thursday. Okay. And I was told to do research by someone that learns from Wikipedia. Says, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you had to refresh the page as well, Tony. Okay, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, thank you, Vilma. I'm still live, but I mean, it was really weird. It went crazy there. Go All Blacks, says Cameron. Go Boca. I saw some guy drive over a Trump sign and staffing his car up. Yeah, Dylan, there was a video that came out a while ago where they put pieces of wood with nails in it next to the signs, and people drove over it and they flattened their tire out. That's what they get. Yep. All right. Okay, folks, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up here. Thanks for everything. Appreciate it. You all take care. Have a good evening, and I'll be back on tomorrow unless something breaks today, for sure. I've got to run around and do a few things today. Thank you all so much, and cheers. Be safe out there. Oh, ice skating sounds like fun, Erica.